Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Sorry, just a few minutes late on the live stream today. Just had some text messages and things like that that I needed to deal with. So anyway, how are you? Who's joining us? Let me know that you're here. We can talk about the things that we're going to talk about today, which is some news that's come out about Phil Foden, some Kasim, hi mate, Breda Hangeland, his comments about Pep Guardiola. We're looking at Joao Felix from Benfica. Hi pal, hi Chris, Aaron Neville, hi mate, you alright? We'll look at Ronaldo, Kamara, Thomas Partey. Well, people were, what a name, Thomas Partey. People were talking about him yesterday. There's not much news, but we'll give you what we've got. Talking about ticket prices. Adam, hey, Andy, Ray. Ray, if you're here and moderating, can you just say hello to Adam? We'll talk about ticket prices for Spurs. We'll have a look at Milan Skriniar and just some news about him. We'll look at Matthias de Ligt. Brotis Momo, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you? We'll look at de Ligt. We'll look at the internationals tonight, last night, and what happened. We'll look at Zaba and some news about Zabaleta. And then we'll look at injury news. So what we tried to do is try to keep it. Some people said yesterday, can we do more about City? Well, we can only do with, you know, these live vlogs with the news that's coming in. And as I said yesterday, and the day before that, and Ray said it as well, when you've got an international break, a lot of Tony Maroney, hi Andy, hi everyone, hi Tony Maroney, I love that name, Tony Maroney, great name. Then what you get is, Commie says, what's with Zaba? We'll talk about that. Kasim says hi to Tony. What you get is you get this rumor mill, and it's like I said, you know, numerous times. You're gonna get all of this, you know, 7-10 days of cheers, Andy. You're welcome, mate. Hi Andy. Hi Chris. You all right, buddy? You're going to get all of this rumour mill going on because there's nothing else to talk about. There'll be rumours today, obviously news about looking fresh, Andy. Nice. Thank you, Doctor. I had a bit of a trim going away on Sunday. I had a bit of a beard trim as well. So, yeah, it's less itchy. So, when it gets too long, it makes me look like that and gets dead itchy. Yeah, so you get loads of sort of transfer stuff, and you know, a lot of it is nonsense. Had to be done. Yeah, it did. I was about 2 weeks overdue for it. Normally it's every 2 weeks, every 2 to 3 weeks, but I've been too busy. Ray's here. Hi guys. Hi Ray. So Ray's here moderating, so you can also get questions in if you want to. How long? I'm not going to say, because somebody posted below the videos and said, hi Andy, that you said it was a short one, it ended up in an hour, can't wait to watch it back, blah blah blah. Yes, I apologize. Sometimes when we do these live vlogs, it's we think we're only going to do 30 minutes, but because of everything that comes in, it gets we get inundated, get sidetracked on what we want to talk about. But as you saw in the preview I did earlier, we've got lots and lots of things about Man City to talk about today, loads and loads, plus your questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the questions that were said. Hi Ray. Here we go. Hi Kasim, says Ray. Going to bring up some of your questions now. I'll try and answer some of them. A big massive congratulations to Ray. I need to say that before. His sister-in-law had a baby this morning, and went into a bit of difficulty last night, but everything went well. Yeah, he's an uncle again. So everybody give Ray a big round of applause. So that's why Ray couldn't do the the video earlier today at 12 o'clock. And then when I messaged him and said, I thought you were doing one at 12, and he turned around and said, hi, Reese. He said, look, this has just happened this morning and blah, blah, blah. And so anyway, that takes priority over any live vlogs that we do. So yeah, he's an uncle again. So well done, Ray, and I hope your sister-in-law's doing well, and baby, you know, your baby niece is doing well as well. So anyway, go on, Ray. You're getting lots of messages there, mate, so which is great from the Man City Fan TV faithful. Have you seen the pundits on the Premier League show like Rude Hullet, Chris Sutton discussing all the time foreign Premier League teams and Aguero? Tom, you know what it's like. You have to keep it brief, because I personally, Ray might be able to read it and he might comment, but for me they just come up too quickly. Iona Beats, thank you for joining back in again. So anyway, on to sorry, I'm getting a cold of all the things before I go away. Getting another bloody cold. Nice one, Ray. Thanks, guys, but I didn't do too much myself. Well, I would hope not. Drogba over Aguero, are you serious? Shearer picked Aguero, but no one else. Well, we'll see. Come back to those. Reese, Tom, if we come back to these after what we've done. Reese Woodward, Cantona's overrated. Right, okay, so on to the first bit of news today. I'm going to be really sort of, you know, blunt with, you know, keeping this on a level, because we've got a lot to talk about today, and then we'll take some of your questions that you going to Spain to get rid of a cold. Yeah, of all things, suddenly it's been like 25, 26 degrees there this week, and then next week's forecast, it's going to be between 20 and 23 degrees, apart from a few days where it might be a bit 25, 26. So it's typical, but anyway, I just want a week away, clear my head, do some work while I'm away, and just get away from the UK in general. So looking forward to it. Bit of relaxing time. Me and my wife, my lads are staying here, so they better look after this place, otherwise there's going to be shit to pay when I get back. Yeah, anyway, Phil Foden. By all accounts last night, I didn't watch the game, but there was a 1-1 draw with the under-21s against Poland. Foden was singled out to be absolutely amazing. Out of all of them, he got an average rating of 8 out of 10 and said he was absolutely phenomenal. Certainly in the second half, took the game to the polls. We'll come back to Sane when we talk about the international stuff, mate, Dottore. But yeah, Foden again, I think he missed one that just went wide of the post. Yeah, it just goes to show you that maybe he should really have been in this squad that happens tonight, rather than in the under-21s. Bit of a shame, but it just goes to show you just how, even in the under-21s, you've got to bear in mind he's only 18 years of age, yet he's in the under-21s, and he's the shining light of this under-21 squad, which shows you that his, you know, performances this season and the game time has really made him step up a completely different level with all the minutes that he's training with wonderful players like Silva and Kevin De Bruyne and company and all the others, Aguero. So the thing with Foden, and well, I don't think we've got another midfield like him. I agree, JK UK. I think he's exciting. Foden's probably England's most creative midfielder. I totally agree, Reese. He's one of those that, you know, he can create something out of nothing. He's energetic. He's, you know, dynamic. He's one of those, you know, Bernardo Silva style of player. Don't matter where you play him, he'll always do something. So it's brilliant to see that he's stepped up to the under-21 level so soon. If Hudson-Odoi gets in and Foden should, yeah, totally agree. Considering that Hudson-Odoi's not even started a Premier League game for Chelsea, get a look at the minutes, and he's got more minutes than most of the young players in Europe so far this season, apart from maybe Sancho and one other. Racing Wolf 7957s. Why is it that we get called? Sorry, missed that. What I'll do is, let me just pull this up for now. I'll pull up the live stream at the moment. I hope Ray can answer some of these. Ray, if you can answer some of these questions that are coming in quite quickly, be appreciated because we've got quite a lot of people. Hi, Charlie Harrison. Hi, mate. We've got quite a lot of people on so early onto the channel. So if you can answer some of those, that'd be great. I'll pull these up and then I'll go back to some of the... I was asked my thoughts on Adam Johnson yesterday. I said he was a great player for us, and that's all that matters. I'm not really going down the Adam Johnson route, to be honest with you. Oasis saying, yo mate, how you doing? You're back from school, so we did this solely for you so that you're here, because otherwise you just give us a load of grief if we don't do it. What do you think about Aguero? Come up. Okay, so I'm not going down the cricket route, so I'm not answering any questions on cricket today. There's too much to talk about with Man City. So cricket is out of the question today. Ray, if you can make sure that we keep to football chatter, that'd be great, because we've got too much to go on today. Reese Woodbridge says, I have a photo of the 2011 FA Cup winners. I've subscribed. I've scribbled out Adam Johnson. Good, I hope you do. Always, Andy, how's your missus and your sons? Yeah, they're great. My two sons are upstairs. And my wife's at work, but they're going to meet her at Sainsbury's because she's going to do a big shop for them while we're away over the next week. So, you know, it's like with mothers, they just like to look after the sons. So that was Phil Foden. How's it fair coming? Well, we've discussed all this before. There's no choice about it. When you talk about Premier League versus La Liga, Tom Carter, we can't do that today. That's going to have to be on another day. We just don't have time because there's so much to talk about solely around Man City today. So it's going to be solely about City and the comments that were below the video I did earlier. So we'll do the Premier League one. Maybe tomorrow we'll do it. I'm flying on Sunday, so I won't be here Sunday. But maybe next week we can do it, or Saturday if we've got time tomorrow. Did you see the attack on Leroy Sané? Yes, I posted the video, actually. It went viral on Twitter. I posted it just immediately after it happened. I videoed it, rewound it back and videoed it. And yeah, lots and lots of comments on Twitter about it. Right, so that's Foden. Next is Brede Hangeland, the ex-Fulham player. He's also commented today that he claims that Pep's team are the best in world football that he's ever seen, and that Pep Guardiola is the greatest manager of our time in this era, which you know, I think it's what most would say. I think definitely. I don't know about best in world football, but then again, some would argue that we're the best in Europe from a footballing point of view. So if we're best from a footballing point of view, does that mean we're best in the world? I don't know. Charlie has, I know, I was just asking Andy's opinion. Sorry, mate, I don't know what that was. Did I miss something? Did I miss something there, Charlie? Apologies if I missed something. I was chatting. City are going to win everything this season. All or nothing video come to mind. Maybe. Do you reckon Gundo will leave? He's been brilliant recently. It's one of the questions that came from below. If you had to pick a team of the Man City, who you pick? You have to pick. No, I don't, because I don't pick any team. That's City in my life when it comes to football. So I like other teams. I like watching Barcelona, but City, that's it. City for me are nothing. End of the world. Best team in the land and all the world. Exactly. So Guardiola to Juve, says Charlie Harrison. Absolute nonsense. It's just put it out your mind. It's garbage. Absolute garbage. So that's from us to you, and I'm telling you now, it's nonsense. Yaya Toure 13 is the best I've seen a player at our club, says Campbell Riley. He was good. Yeah, he was good. No problem. Andy is going to play for Man City one day. What? Andy is going to play for Man City one day. I don't think so, mate. I had my chance many, many years ago. Aguero beard and trim, or Andy's trim beard. Got to be Aguero's all day long. The women are going mental for it. So, and he's a lot younger than me. Is it too early to talk about transfers for next season? No, we've got some of the questions below the video I posted earlier. Pep's going nowhere, says Kazim. Absolutely. Have you seen the Keeper film? I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hoping I might get a link to see it whilst I'm away in Spain. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thoughts on the racism Sani and Gundo got for Germany yesterday? Don't know much about the racism side. But I have asked, I've asked Tobias, Tobias is our German guy who does the videos for us. Kamal Dwyer says, hi mate, how are you doing? Racist press, says Reese Woodbridge. Could be. But I've asked Tobias if over the next few days he wants to do a video on us for us on the latest sort of players in, because there's obviously Jovic and others that being linked to City, and all how this thing has arrived with regards to the Sane and Gundogan thing. So he said he will do, but at the moment he's busy today and over the weekend, but he'll do one next week and we'll put it out on our channel. Hi everyone, hi Hassan. So you think City need a team? Right, Racing Wolf, Man City Fan TV, thank you. Back then, a friend of mine who is a Liverpool fan said that Man City have treated Milner unfairly, but in my opinion that's utter nonsense. It's complete garbage. Milner was offered a new contract. He was determined that he wanted more game time, and in the end he decided to leave and he ran his contract down to zilch, nothing, so we could get nothing from him. He said he wanted to move to a club whereby he would play in midfield. That they were his words if you read the press. And said he wanted to move to a team where he would be given regular game time in the midfield. He didn't feel he was getting that at Man City, and then turned around and said things like he wanted to win trophies. Well, he moved to Liverpool, played as a left back for the first year, and then still won nothing. So, you know, tough shit on Milner at the end of the day. He shouldn't come out. He should have just left, took his big signing on fee, which was what it was all about, running his contract down to nothing. And then, yeah, you know, tough shit on him. You know, if he gets grief, that's what you do when you run down contracts and don't, you know, give the club back something that they've given you, which is 3-4 years of wonderful football, and treated you and paid you really, really well. So I've got no sympathy for Milner whatsoever. Ray's trim and beard or Andy's trim and beard? Well, Ray's got no hair, so he can't have a trim on top. He can have a trim on, and he's always clean shaven, so there's no contest. The film The Keeper looks good. Have you seen it? I haven't, Blue Heart. Not yet. I agree, Ray. He really needs to improve his finishing. Do you think Toby Alderweireld would be a good deputy for company? No, too old now. It's not our model. It's not our model to go in for old players. Jesus isn't close to Sergio Aguero. Yeah, I agree. Reese, Milner got his medals from City, but no respect for the club. I agree. He's got no respect for the club. Andy, you're 45. No, mate, I'm not. 49. Thoughts on the Benfica player we allegedly interested in? Talk about that very shortly, which is something actually I'm going to move on to. So you can keep your questions coming. Maybe Ray can look at these because we're moving on to the next thing. Andy is nearer to 50 than 45. I just said I'm 49. So yeah, I am near 50. So that's the way it is. Ray's 51. It's about 50. I think Ray's 58, if I'm honest with you. No, he's not. He's a couple of years older than me. So moving on to the next one, which we're going to talk about, which is delete. Hold your thoughts on that, Doctore. Is João Felix, and there was rumours today. You know, the whole rumours that João Felix from Benfica is the new Cristiano Ronaldo. And rumours were that Cheeky, Ray's 50. He's not. He's older than 50. Ignore him. Cheeky has been at the Estadio de Luis and looking at João Felix for the last few weeks. Now, he seemed to, rumours are that he's impressed, Cheeky, but he's got a release clause of £103 million, not euros, pounds. And these rumours are today that typical rumours, because it's international break, that City could offer 100 million. Well, if you believe all of these stories now that we are supposedly paying 100 million for this player, 100 million for that player, I mean, we're going to be spending about 5, 6, 700 million pounds on these players if you believe all of the nonsense that's in the media. So, but that's a bit of news today. So we'll see. We'll see. I've got a feeling. Let me just check. I think actually maybe watch tonight, because I think if I'm right, Portugal are playing the Ukraine tonight. So you'll see Zinchenko and Bernardo Silva and possibly Joao Felix in the team tonight. So if you want to go and check him out, maybe watch the international tonight rather than watching the England game. Watch the Ukraine versus Portugal game, because you may see him. So I might flick between the two, because obviously I want to see a couple of the City players, and even though I'm not really into international football, if I'm honest, but I might actually watch a little bit more of the Portugal versus Ukraine game to see how Zinchenko does and where he plays, and see if this Felix guy is actually playing, and see how Bernardo Silva does. Declan Rice is my dream midfielder. He's on one of my shortlists, definitely, Reece. Which leads us to another Portuguese player, which is Ronaldo Camara. Now, this guy's an attacking midfielder. He's in the under-17 Portugal team. And rumours were that United tried to buy him in January. But all that fell through. Now, we know nothing more about, from a City perspective, what's been said about has he been watched. It wouldn't surprise me if he's been watched by coaches, but he's only a kid. So it's going to be, Kevin Moll says, hi Andy, let's hope no one gets injured. Yeah, I mean, that's the chance you take with these international friendlies and international sort of qualification games. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. So Ronaldo Camara, maybe he's somebody who City might be... Andy, I love your house, mate. It's colourful and designing. This is just my hallway. This is where sort of my kitchen is behind me. It's behind that door there. This is just my hallway as you walk in through the door. This isn't really my house. This is just, it's where my office is. I have my whiteboards behind me for the, you know, when I'm working from home, I can write stuff on and things like that. This is up there. That's where the trouble is. That's my two lads' bedrooms and ensuite bathrooms and things like that are up that way. That way, I'll show you. That way through that door. That's where it all happens. No, I'm only kidding. That's our living room through there, and then upstairs we have like an open plan mezzanine bedroom. That's mine and my wife's bedroom, and a landing that goes outside, a balcony. Behind there we've got the kitchen and another open plan sort of area, living room with TV, big flat screen TV. But that's where we normally spend most of the time in there. That's just like a formal living room. But that's now happens, old fella. Yeah, I know, mate. That's what happens when you get to my age. But yeah, that's the kitchen, and that's where we've got like the flat screen telly and big couches and things. And we spend most of our time in the kitchen sort of open area. But have you had your ears lowered? No, I've had a trim. What's that door? Which door? This door here? If you're talking about the door near there, oh, that's where I put the boys when they're naughty. That door, oh, that's another bedroom. That one here, that one you're talking about, that's another bedroom. That's a spare bedroom. So when we've got guests coming over, and don't even ask her why she's not coming over to stay, that's spare bedroom. The midget lives in there. Yeah, that's the midget lives in there. That's that's where Ray goes. I'll put Ray in there when he comes. To the right, yeah, that's a spare bedroom. That one down here. The other side, that one, I've already said that's it. It's just a cupboard. It's just a storage area. It's a dungeon. Yeah, dungeon. That's what it could be. Can I come to your house? No, you can't, because you're not old enough. Have you got Stephen locked it? I'm assuming you're saying locked in there. Yeah. No, mate. We'll just keep. I've got him outside on a chain, a big neck chain. He's in the back garden, locked. Yeah, he's on a big neck chain in the back garden, running around like a lunatic, screaming, "Sponsors, sponsors! Somebody sponsor me!" That's where the United fans are locked up. Yeah, not even Liverpool fans rather than United fans. I'd lock in there. But anyway, let's move on before we get into trouble, because we'll get loads of grief on this because I've just said that. So that's how sensitive some people are. Moving on. Yesterday, I'm a guest. That's my bedroom. Well, if you're ever a guest and you're old enough a waist, that can be your bedroom, because that's where the guests stay. Thomas Partey, stick to footy. Yeah, I know I'm trying to, but you know what it's like, Ray. It's better than cricket, I guess. Thomas Partey, yesterday people were asking about him. Any feed me halal food, no pork or beer? Well, you can't have beer anyway because you're too young, so you can't come to my... I'm 14, not 7. Well, you're 14, you're not allowed to have beer, so you should be concentrating on your football, early nights, training, everything else like I've told you before. I have my own room with a telly and a computer. My wife's friends and my daughter's friends all talk rubbish, like to keep out the wake of them all. Same as mine. 14-year-old footy and girls. No girls, no. 14, no girls, just footy. So Thomas Partey, rumours are he's got a £43 million release clause, which doesn't seem a lot, considering everybody keeps talking up this Atletico midfielder. Rumours are Pep thinks, these are rumours, Pep thinks that is in the mould of Yaya Toure. But let's not forget, Pep and Yaya Toure didn't really have a great relationship. So I'd be surprised if nobody's quoted it. So it seems like people are making, 1 + 1 = 3 and saying that because Partey looks and plays a little bit like your Yaya Toure, Pep's likening him to Yaya Toure. I don't think Pep and Yaya had the greatest of relationships, if I'm honest. But anyway, he's got a £43 million release clause. Now, if Atletico don't win anything again this season, it wouldn't surprise me if clubs are looking at him and agents are pushing him out there. If that £43 million doesn't become a £70-80 million, because £43 million for a quality midfielder in this day and age is nothing, absolutely nothing. Reece said, at least if we get a transfer ban, these fake rumours. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just non-stop. Said it yesterday. You're going to just have to expect it until we resume against Fulham. It's just a non-stop. And we'll be linked with every single thing because all they want to do is clickbait. They want to, the journalists are pushed to put stories out there to fill newspapers. Bernardo cost us 43 million. It did 2.5 years ago. Big difference to 43 million pound for a player now, considering, when you see the likes of a Joao Felix quoted as a 103 million pound buyer clause. Who? I mean, this guy's done nothing, absolutely nothing in world football. So 43 million for Partey seems a bit cheap, in my opinion. But City will know who they want to. I mean, 18 months ago, okay, 2 years ago, it's whatever we are. He played the year before last, plus, okay, 18 months ago, yeah, fair enough. Not 2 years. So, crazy money. Yeah, crazy money. I mean, it's just the transfer fees have gone ridiculous anyway. So, if we're looking at Ndombele, which is going to cost us anywhere between, in my opinion, between 70 and 90 million pounds. 43 million felt like a bargain even then. Yeah, it did. Yeah, absolutely agree. So, 43 million in this, it's not gonna happen. Devansh says, Ndombele, Sal, Partey or Rice, who would you prefer? I've always said it. I like Rice. I do really like him. But I have seen Ndombele live, and he was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. When I saw him in Lyon, he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I've seen him since on TV. and had a wonderful game. So if I was going to go for anybody, I'd go for Ndombele. But Rice, that's nothing to say. Rice is young, but is he having one of those great seasons? And next season he won't be so good. So you've always got to weigh up these options. Awais, I watch the vids and streams all the time. Thank you, Awais. Where's this transfer ban? And when they said no, rumours are Martin Lipton's come out and again says 2 weeks' time. I mean, we said that in the videos that, you know, people were quoting, some social media outlets were quoting that it'll be said in the next few days. And I replied back to him saying, well, that's not what the article said. His article actually said UEFA will be in 2 weeks' time. So why are we saying in the next few days? That was a week, 10 days ago. Ndombele is the boss, says Iona Beats. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. We won't know until something comes out. Rice is a worry now. He's going to play for England. Form will go, says Mr. C. We'll see. Let's have a look at him. Maybe he might get some game time tonight. Say hi to Nick Gurr. He is your biggest fan. Jules Clips. Nick Gurr. Who's Nick Gurr? If you let us know who Nick Gurr is, we'll give him a shout out. Do you prefer Premier League experience holding midfielder? He held that midfield when we played for Lyon. He did. He was wonderful. I missed that. I'll have to look back on my laptop. Always, Andy, does your younger son play like Kevin De Bruyne? No, he was a keeper, mate. Though he plays midfield now. He has his own. He runs his own sort of 7-a-side team on Monday nights. So, but he was originally, when I was a manager of the football teams that I used to run. He actually played in net 3 years before his age group. Did really, really well. But he plays sort of goalkeeper midfield now. So anyway, whose signings have been better, Pep, Mancini or Pellegrini? Good question. Very good question. Depends on whose signings you're talking about. I prefer Fernandinho, Chris Welch. I prefer Fernandinho to stay where he is for the next year. What about Ferland Mendy from Lyon? Are they trying to derail us? Andy feels like it. Who are trying to derail us, Kevin? Ndombele was strong and showed good vision. Some nice reverse passing midfield against us. Wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no beyond belief. Absolutely. He was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But that's not to say that Rice might not go on to be a better player. We don't know. We're only seeing Rice in a West Ham team early in the season. And we're not even seeing a full season about him. But Ndombele, I think, is going to be the #1 target only my opinion. What positions should be on our list for the upcoming window? Devansh Singh says, well, central defensive midfielder, some cover for Fernandinho. I think a left back, and it wouldn't even surprise me if it's another striker. Oasis saying, Andy, do you have a smoke alarm? My one keeps ringing all the time because it's out of batteries. Well, tell your parents to change them, mate. Of course we do. We've got smoke alarms everywhere in the house. It's an absolute must. Otherwise it can kill you. So tell your parents to change them immediately. They're only little sort of like DC batteries. Centre midfield, left back, centre forward, says beyond belief. I agree. I've watched Rice for a while. He'll be a star for England. I don't doubt it whatsoever, Reece. I think he looks a very, very good player. Just not seen potentially enough of him, and he's only young. But you know, if we're saying the same thing about Ndombele, Rice could equally be something, and homegrown. Do you need another striker when you've got Aguero, Jesus, Chris Welsh? Yeah, I think we do. I think we really do. Unless we're going to promote somebody from the likes of Nemecha or another, I think we do need some coverage because, let's face it, Sergio's not getting any younger. Gabby's still very, very young. He's only 21. So, young English players so overpriced, yeah, but that's just part and parcel. It's been like that for years and years. Dybala, well, we've been rumoured with him in the past. He's still only young and can play in 3 different positions, so he's flexible, and Pep likes that. Yeah, it's going to be one of those with the centre forwards, and it depends who's out there. I understand your point now, mate. Is that in reply to my reply about it? But yeah, you know, with Aguero, he's got 2 more years on his contract. Hopefully, he'll stay those 2 years. Can't see him staying much beyond that, if I'm honest. But I think he will see out his contract. Within a year or two, it could be Jesus, but he'll need to step up. He'll need to within the next year, certainly. Maybe not this season, but next season he's going to have to really step up. Otherwise, you know, we'll be looking at somebody else. And then we don't know if we can buy anybody in the summer. We might bring somebody like Dybala or somebody in, a young attacking, a young striker. So we don't know, but we'll see. What's the FFP rubbish going on? Not heard anything. Nothing at the moment with FFP. That's still quiet at the moment, and we'll wait and see what happens in the near future. Will Brexit affect football? We still don't know. I think it's like anything when you talk about FFP and things. Let's wait and see what happens first with the things that are going to be determining those things, like the charges against us. Let's see what they are first before we realise what's going to happen next. Otherwise, we're doing it the wrong way round. Is it true Leroy avoided injuries a few days ago? Just tuned in, AK850. Yeah, looks like, I mean, he's commented saying he's fine and he's looking forward to Sunday's game. So, see you, Ray. Take care, mate. Yeah, it looks like he's posted he's fine, and he's looking forward to Sunday's game. So, like I said the other night when I showed the video live on Twitter, see you later, Andy. Are you going away? So, okay, goodbye, mate. It looks like he's okay. Just a nasty tackle. Would it be fair for them to do a transfer ban so close to the window? Do whatever they like, Iona. It's out of our hands. Why do you think the club is getting a lot of hate nowadays? Should we be worried? No. This happens when with success. Keep practicing away, so yeah. You know, no beer, good food, early nights. That's one of your key things. That's what happens when teams are successful. You're gonna get hate from fans, opposition fans, and that's fine. It's jealousy, says Chris. Yeah, of course it is. Absolutely. You know, we did the same. You know, if any City fan said they didn't, they're lying. You know, when United was getting success and Chelsea and everything, we all had little digs at each other. That's just a byproduct of what fan channels and fans, opposition fans do. It's just the way it is. But when the media jump in on it and have a campaign, that's something different. And Fergie bought the refs. I'm not sure he bought the refs, but he certainly had a massive impact on them because of his dominance. And I think that legacy is only now just starting to wane away now that he retired and things like that, where before he was having a lot of influence. I'm just trying to read through. There's so many, you know, comments coming through. I'm jealous of City, but I don't bang on them like others. Well, that's the way you should do. It's all right having a comment or two, but there's no point banging it. Hello, Mr. Smooth. Still hate United, even though they're crap and no threat. That will never change. It'll never change for us. It'll never, ever change that. Thanks beyond belief, you too, bro. Should we be looking at company's replacement? What's your opinion on Delete? Any chance of him coming to City? Okay. Going to talk about Delete because Delete again caught the eye last night. I think Netherlands were playing Belarus, won 4-0. Frankie de Jong actually ran the show again, which actually makes me so frustrated that we didn't get Frankie de Jong, because we've seen him now since his move to Barcelona has been confirmed, and he's been absolutely brilliant. You know, And I think he's going to be the one that got away. He's the one that we should have signed and gone all out and done everything possible to sign him. Now, if he wants to go to Barcelona, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's like, you know, others like Virgil van Dijk, who Delete played next to last night for the Netherlands in the 4-0 win over Belarus. He wanted to go to Liverpool. De Jong is overrated. I disagree. He's a top class player. You know, got to bear in mind, he's 21 years of age, and absolutely brilliant. And last night again, he was wonderful for the Netherlands, superb, brilliant for Ajax in the Champions League. Last night, Delete, only 19 years of age, played alongside Virgil van Dijk for the Netherlands, and he was one of the ones that again was quoted as saying he caught the eye of people watching. Delete, very, very good performance from a very young kid. Now we're talking about centre backs here. When you're talking about a 19-year-old, that's very, very young. I know we've got Eric Garcia, but when these are playing in full internationals and playing alongside the likes of Van Dijk and are actually catching the eye of people over Van Dijk, that says a lot. That says an awful lot. Now, centre-backs normally don't come into their own until the mid-20s. Well, this kid is 19. Now, do we need another centre-back? Well, if we're looking at Vincent Kompany, possibly getting in, and probably will get another contract extension in the summer, no doubt about it, for another 12 months. And we've got Otamendi. We've got Laporte. We've got Stones. Who are the two main protagonists. Stones, yeah, I agree, Reese. I think they're the two main players. But Otamendi's not getting any younger. Vinny's going to be a very, very bit part player, next season. So we do need cover. We've got Eric Garcia, but he's not proven yet. And he can be back. Yeah, he can be back up, but he's not proven. We're talking about somebody who's of a similar age, playing in the Netherlands international team at 19 years of age and catching the eye over Virgil van Dijk. That says something. That is different to an Eric Garcia playing in a cup competition or a cup game and going, yeah, he did all right, that kid. That's a big difference. So it would not surprise me in the slightest, considering we missed out on Virgil van Dijk, which City, did, or by all accounts, did want, but he wanted to go to Liverpool, so it was actually, that was it. It will not surprise me if City go, we're not going to lose this another player like that. We're going to buy him. And we've got three great defenders then, young defenders. We've got Delete, Laporte and John Stones, with the likes of Eric Garcia to back up. Considering, don't forget, we're in 4 cup competitions at the moment. In the future, we could still be in 4 cup competitions next year. So, you know, Eric Garcia is still learning the ropes. But when you talk about a player who is the partnership with Van Dijk in the national team at 19 years of age and catches the eye over Virgil van Dijk as a top-class player, that's a bit different to an Eric Garcia coming in. So, yeah, that's interesting, talking about that. Anyway, let me just see if there's any other questions coming in. Right, we've got about 15 minutes left. So, who would be good replacement for Aguero? Pooh, take your pick. What does everyone else think? There are so many players out there. I've always said it since last summer, before the World Cup. I said Timo Werner would be the player that I would go for at the time. That was 8-9 months ago. Mr. C, Zaba is on my list here, which we're going to talk about. 4 more years, it could do. I don't think he will do, that's the thing. I think he'll want to go for the last year or 2 of his contract to Independiente. I think he'll want to go back to Argentina, and that's the problem. Dybala, says Reese Woodbridge, says Dybala, Lacazette, only worthy successor. Not sure about Lacazette. I don't rate him, if I'm honest. Dybala, as I said, can play in several positions, so Pep likes flexibility. Kevin Moore says Dybala for me. Timo Werner is a quality striker as well. Yeah, I said that away. His stats stack up against many centre forwards in world football. One of these players are near Aguero. No, they're not. They're not. Nobody is saying they're anywhere near. I mean, to try and replace Aguero is almost nigh and impossible unless you're looking at the next one that Tory says, Mbappe. Yeah, I agree, but that is going to cost you 200 million, even more. Now, when you're under investigations for FFP and things like that, it puts a big strain on stuff like that. But that's not to say the money isn't there. The money will be there if we wanted to. What are you recording the stream with, Andy? I'm recording it just live on my phone, mate. It's just live on YouTube. So, Mbappe, the money is there. If we want to spend it, it is there. There's money available to do that. I mean, we could possibly spend 250, 300 million if we wanted to. It's just going to be... I'd rather not, even if Mbappe is as good as we think he will be. Well, like I said, it depends on what our priorities are. If you've got another 2 years out of Sergio, you've got Gabby Jesus, that's sorted. We've got Sane, we've got Sterling. So they're sorted. So where's the problem areas in the team that we need? It's central defensive midfield cover, left back, and possibly another centre back. So, yeah, you're right, Tom. I mean, possibly it's not... And Mbappe might not even want to go. So maybe we don't. Maybe we just step up a youth player into there. But I'd be surprised. Scary if Mbappe and Sterling play together. That'd be wonderful. But I just don't think it's his time to go yet from PSG. I think he'll stay at least another season or two with PSG. And then we'll see where the transfer window goes, the transfer ban, etc., etc. It's not easy to replace a world-class striker. Chelsea been struggling in that. Yeah, it's not. It's absolute. And somebody who is a genuine world-class striker. It's all right. You know, you look at United's forward line with, you know, Rashford, Sanchez, Lukaku. None of those are world-class. They're not. They're just simply not world-class. But Sergio Aguero is world-class. He'd walk into any team in world football. If Barca signed him, he'd probably replace the likes of Suarez even, or push his place at Barcelona. So that's the level we're talking about. Asensio at Real Madrid, it'd easily take Asensio's place. So, and Benzema's place. I mean, he's that good. But hopefully we'll get another 2 years out of him, another 60 goals, 70 goals. And maybe next season we can start looking at who we might potentially sign and how much it's going to be. So, next up, right, we've got 12 minutes left. So, let's look at some more one-of-a-kind. We're losing one in the middle. We're seeing the young world-class wingers on either side. Yeah, he is a one-of-a-kind. Reece, there's no doubting about it. So, the next bit of news was that Milan Skriniar from Inter Milan, defender, 24 years of age. Apparently, City allegedly offered money for him last summer, and it was rejected by Inter Milan. And rumours are it's come back up. Same old rumours, you know, international break. This is another one. Forget, delete. Now it's Skriniar of Inter Milan, and we're looking at this guy. And City apparently, you know, offered money for him. And it was rejected last summer. How much money? No idea. But I'll be surprised if this goes through. I think it's more that United were looking at this player, so of course the media lumping City along with them. What else? Ticket prices. So many rumours. I mean, that's what I've said it days for days, Reece. It's just when there's the international break on, the papers have to fill their newspapers with just whatever they can because there's nothing out there. Social media is rife with, oh, what about this player? What about... I mean, it's just clickbait. That's all it is. We're out of the transfer window, so we cannot approach another player an agent cannot approach Man City unless the club that own the registration of that player agrees to it. Otherwise, it's an illegal approach. So City have got to be very, very careful. Very, very careful with what we do. That's not to say that there's third parties involved who talk to whoever. We know that happens, but you're going to get all of these rumours. You're going to get, this time of year, Mark the Blue says, every opposing fan I've spoke to said to our players, Sergio is one they would want. Yeah, everyone I've spoken to, always, when they said, if you could take one player from City, every single one, apart from maybe one or two said Kevin De Bruyne, but every other said Sergio Aguero every day of the week, even now, because that's how good he is. I mean, he's just simply world class. Probably up there right now. If he said out and out strikers, I'd put him as number one. Simple as that. I'd put him as the best striker in world football. So the next thing is Ray's back. Even those Liverpool fans, yeah, I think. I mean, I've got friends who are Liverpool fans, and not just Chris Welch, and they've said, you know, Aguero and they've said it for 2 years, Aguero every day of the week. Do you miss that? Do you remember when Sam Lee used to kiss Aguero and talk about him every Twitter he basically did? What, Sam Lee who writes for Goal? Well, I'm not talking about Sam Lee. I blocked him on Twitter anyway. Not bad. I would... Sorry, coming in too thick and fast. Then Aguero stopped talking about him and giving him links. I'd rather preserve David Silva than Aguero, though. I'd rather preserve him. Who cares about Sam Lee, Reese? Well, you know, Reese, you know the backstory, so you know everything that's happened. So, Reese, yeah, I'm with you. If Aguero played for a media darling club like Liverpool United, he'd be appreciated more. Yeah, and to be fair, though, to be fair, when I've watched quite a few of the videos that have come out over the last few months, if you look at like the debate on Sky News, Sky Sports, and you look at others like ESPN, and they talk, they all say that they would take Aguero. Nearly all of them said they'll take Aguero over anybody else. Who cares about Sam Lee? Yeah. Hey Ray, may I ask, do you think Son Heung-min would be a good replacement for Sergio Aguero? No way in a million years. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. Ray says, no way, Wolford, different players. Son is good. Yeah, he's good, but he's not even on the same level as Aguero, and not an out-and-out striker. David Silva and Aguero finally getting his credit. Yeah, they should do, and so they should. In particular, shame he's injury prone. Who? Aguero? Are you talking about, or David Silva? Adam. Iona Beat, sorry. Replacing Sergio Aguero is like trying to replace a Rolls Royce. Yeah, he is a Rolls Royce of a player, there's no doubt about it. Aguero's greatest striker in the Premier League ever, in my opinion, says Chris Welch. I agree with you, mate. Even though he's not got the goals compared to Shearer, I think he's 10th on the list at the moment. Is he 10th on the list at the moment? I'm not sure. 7th on the list at the moment. But he's 6-7 behind Henry on 175. Henry's on. But it's a bit of a jump to get to where Shearer was, but then not played anywhere near the games that Shearer did or Rooney did. But you look at his goal to game ratio, minute to goal ratio, I mean, it just far supersedes anything they did. Do you think Aguero and Silva will get a statue? If they do, I hope the likes of Vincent Kompany buy it away. I hope Vincent Kompany is on there. Possibly even Zabaleta. I hope they're on there with them rather than just those two. I'm going to take a shower. Okay, see you later, mate. 10 statues and 14 behind Henry. Minutes to goal ratio, Andy better than Shearer and Hunt. Yeah, absolutely. Miles better. Sergio's getting even better too. He certainly has. Tony Maroney this season. He's really took on that mantle, knowing that Gabby was right behind him. To be honest, Rooney would have been the top scorer in the league if Fergie hadn't messed him about. Quite possibly. Kane replacing Aguero, Kasim. If you go on Twitter and follow one of our mates called Den, Den Taylor. He's been crying out. Last year, after the Carabao Cup final at Wembley, after we beat Arsenal, we were in the hotel after that game, and there was about 10 Arsenal fans in the hotel with us at the Novotel, and we got into a big heated debate about it, especially Den. And Den was going on about Kane, saying we should be going after Kane all out, no matter what it costs, etc., etc. And they were going mental, these Arsenal fans, going, Kane, what? You're joking? No, he's nowhere near as good. And, we'll get a Aubameyang and we've got this and blah, blah, blah. And Den is absolutely saying that Kane should be our next main striker. And it don't matter what it costs, we should go for him. And I was like, what? No way. And he's going, yeah. So it's interesting. Since then, and that was a year ago, I've heard plenty of other people saying similar things, but I don't know. I'm not sure about Kane, if I'm honest. And somebody said, will he fit into our system? I'm not sure either. Hi, mate, the Mighty Blues. Hey, how you doing, buddy? This is the guy, the Mighty Blues. This is the guy who runs the... He runs the Everton fan channel. The guys, I met him outside Goodison Park when I was at Goodison for the game earlier on last month or the month before. Cameron. So say hello to Cameron. I know we've got Chris Welch on here. He's a Liverpool fan. So that'll be interesting. The Mighty Blues Everton fan channel. So we'll see the shit kick off in a minute. Yeah, remember that vid, says Reese Woodbury. Really nice guy, lovely guy. Lovely guy. And yeah, met him outside the Chippy, outside Goodison Park, and we had a good chat on video about it, and did the pre-match preview with him. Adam says, hey Cameron, Champions League or the Premier League? Hi, Cameron. The Mighty Blues, welcome, mate. Rivalry aside, said Chris Welch. There you go. So there's no rivalry there. Thanks, mate, says Cameron. That's great. So see what I mean? You don't have to be, when we go on these live vlogs, it doesn't just have to be, hi, everyone, says Cameron from the Mighty Blues. Who do you think could be a future manager? Ooh, good question. We were talking about that yesterday. I was saying, obviously there's Mikel Arteta, but I did that thing 2 days ago where I was talking about the documentary I watched on the Barcelona team. And every single player to a man at Barcelona said that Xavi is going to be a future manager. They were hoping for at Barcelona. But it wouldn't surprise me if Pep Guardiola doesn't somehow get into Xavi's mind and says, come over and do some coaching with us, which leads me nicely onto a next point, which is that by all accounts, and the rumour is, that Pep's offered Pablo Zabaleta a coaching role at Manchester City at the end of this season. He's still got the offer of another 12 months at West Ham, but he said he's going to decide in the future, in the near future, about what he's going to do. Yaya inheriting City's role, leading the... Oh, God, don't even go there. Don't even go there with Yaya Toure with me, Reese. You're only going to... It's like you're chucking a grenade into this conversation. Don't get me going on Yaya Toure. I think people who follow us on Twitter and have seen our previous videos know my thoughts on Yaya Toure. I'm not somebody I want to talk about. I was trying to be serious then, but no, it's not somebody... good riddance, says Ray. Yeah, absolutely. That's my thoughts on Yaya Toure. Ruined his legacy at Manchester City with his inane, ridiculous, disgusting comments he made about Pep Guardiola. Just a self-centered bellend. There, that's my last word on it. Have to go get tea, mate. Have a good night. Yeah, good luck. Something's missing in my life and it's a bit of Zabba. Well, he could be back in the summer. Could be coming back. Still love the big man. Well, that's fair enough. He did some wonderful... Had 2 seasons where he was amazing for Man City. I just don't like City players who slag off the club like he did. He's welcome back anytime. I think he's going to come back. I really do think he's going to. I won't take away the good that he did, not at all. But he never should have got. He never should have got that dressing room, training ground mosaic. In my opinion, he caused enough shit as it was at City, and then when he left, after he got that from the club, from the board, from the fans, from the manager, from Sheikh Mansour, he then came out saying that Pep's a racist and blah blah blah. No. I would have just dug it up and thrown it away the next day after I'd read those things. So no. So fingers crossed Saba will be back in the summer. Fingers crossed. And I think he'd be a wonderful addition to the training team. I honestly don't like the comments he made, but I still have his picture on my wall. That's absolutely fine, mate. Like I said, each to their own. Absolutely. People still call him a legend, and rightly so. If that's their opinion, it's just not mine. I'm just not going down that route with him. Saba and Vinny are here to stay. I agree, Mark the Blue, totally. Vinny will sign a 1-year contract extension in the summer, and then that'll be it. He'll hang up his boots. He'll be back in a ambassadorial role and coaching role somehow, and Saba will be there. I'm just trying to see, is there anything else I need to talk about? Tevez the same, just remember the moment. Yeah, but the difference being that Tevez was never a legend in the same way that Yaya was. Poor Yaya, I bet he's watching. I don't think he'll be watching this. Craving football, see what I can watch. 4th gen Papa. See you, mate. I don't think he was ever felt, certainly in the years that he played at City, like Yaya Toure was. Yaya Toure was loved by the fans, but Tevez was one that was brought in and had a couple of brilliant seasons. There's no doubting about it. But he was never, because of the United affiliation. Yeah, he'll be eating some cake somewhere. He probably is. So it's a bit different, slightly different in that. So I'm just going to finish up now because we've gone way beyond what I was going to do. James Milner, when he left us, he was talking bad about us. That's why nobody takes anything he says seriously because of the crap that he gave us when he left and the reasons why. Seeing if there's anything else tonight. Okay, so like I said, Gundogan, Sane played last night, the other day. Sterling and Walker played tonight, so they're in the England team tonight. We've obviously got the Portugal versus Ukraine match, so we'll see Bernardo versus Zinchenko, and might see Joao Felix maybe tonight. So go and check him out if you can watch it. Ticket prices, last thing, Spurs charging City fans £70 for tickets, which is an absolute disgrace. United fans have been charged £102 to go to the Camp Nou for the Barca game, the Champions League, which is just disgraceful. But by all accounts, Man United are actually going to charge the Barca fans exactly the same because of that. And what they're going to do is refund the difference to the United fans so that they can try and subsidise their tickets away. But £70, I just find an absolute disgrace by Tottenham Hotspur. It's absolutely appalling. And everybody, if you're on Twitter, go and give them some shit on social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you can, at Tottenham Hotspur. Go and tell them how just ridiculous it is. Especially when you see what I think we're charging. I don't know, maybe Ray will put me right. I think it's £40, is it? £45? If Ray's still on. I'm not sure. I think I had it up here this morning. I think it's £45 for their away fans, and we're getting charged. Spud's taking the piss with ticket prices. Ray, what was the opposite? I think it's 45. But they're charging £45 for some tickets, and that's the minimum price. And the minimum price City fans is £70 to go. I mean, that's absolutely appalling. Absolutely appalling. At least United, even though the Barca are charging United fans £102, I mean, that is just ridiculous. And they are going to be, if you've ever been to the Nou Camp, Camp Nou, you're going to be right at the top, right at the back, and you can hardly see anything. They're charging them £102 for the tickets. But United have at least come out and said that they're going to charge the Barca fans exactly the same, and they're going to compensate the United fans who go and buy those tickets to go to the Champions League game at the Camp Nou. So it'd be nice if City did something along those lines, because I think it's disgraceful. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. If you want to know any more about, I'm just trying to look now. If you want to know any more about the fitness of players and things like that, go over and check physioroom.com. We're a subscriber of theirs. I'll just very quickly. No, we're not charging Spurs 70 quid, Reese. That's the thing. We're charging them, I think it's 45 quid. There or thereabouts is the cheapest ticket. 70 quid for us is the cheapest ticket. So you can get cheaper tickets, but you have to be like under 15s or over 65, etc. See you, Robbie. Latest news on player injuries from Physio Room. Otamendi is due back on the 30th, so for the Fulham game, but they said there's still a slight doubt. Fabian Delph due back on the 30th, but still a slight doubt because of a knock. Vincent Kompany, muscular injury, still no return date, so it doesn't look like he'll be fit for the Fulham game. John Stones, groin strain. He wasn't good for Schalke, they say, and after a test, he didn't feel good. He did not train the last 2 days. After 2 weeks, he'll be ready to train. Still a major doubt about the return on for the Fulham game. Kevin De Bruyne, still slight doubts about him, hamstring injury, but looks like he'll be back. See you, Asketh. Matt's price for Spurs fans is 50 quid. There you go. Benjamin Mendy, still a major doubt for returning for the Fulham game. Fernandinho, still no news on him. Mangala, no news on Mangala, sadly, and no news on Claudio Bravo. So Fernandinho, still no news whether he's back in training or whether he's going to be fit for there, but it doesn't look great. So still might not be fit for the Fulham game. Looks like Mendy is going to struggle potentially. Kevin De Bruyne possibly back. Stones, don't know yet. Kompany, definitely not. Fabian Delph, slight injury. Otamendi should be fit. So anyway, guys, long one today. We covered all the City news that you asked for yesterday. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If we didn't get through all your questions, I apologise. Hopefully, Kasim, thanks, guys, all the best. Thanks, Tony Maroney. Israel, we need our full squad back. Yeah, we're going to do, has Delph played his last game for City? I don't think so. I think he'll hang around the squad. So I reckon he might get some cup games. Can we do City's best starting 11? Kazim said, can we do City's best starting 11 sometime next week? Good question. Maybe post it again on the next vlog as a reminder. City's best midfielder ever, or City's best midfield ever. That would be a tough one. I mean, if you're talking about history. Injury update, we've done. Who should start front three? Aguero and Sterling. Sane, Mahrez or Jesus? I'll go for Sane, says Fully. Kumar, I would say Aguero, Sterling, Sane is my front three. Favourite City kit this season, home kit, third kit, hate them all, don't like any of them. I'm not a kit person, you'll see, I never wear kits, I've never been all my life, I don't buy kits, I don't buy tops, I don't buy anything. Ray's the one to ask on that, he's the kit man. I just not my thing. Though I do like certain kits, and maybe what we're going to do is, I've asked Harry if he wants to do a kit review on the Puma stuff, and maybe he'll do a video on all the concept kits that are out there for the new Puma kits, and maybe you can give your thoughts on that, because I downloaded hundreds of them. So look out for that. Maybe next week or over the weekend we'll do something about the new kits that Puma might show, because some of them look amazing. What improvements would people like to see at the Etihad? That's a good question. I think it's something, if you want to go over and have a look at, I think Stu Brennan was doing a Q&A today, this afternoon, sometime about midday, from the Manchester Evening News. Go over and check out. He was at the questions on that. Improvements at the Etihad. Good question. Maybe we'll come back to that. Maybe, Chris Baker, that's something that you should ask again. Because I've certainly got my opinions on certain things. Has anyone got any idea about Fernandinho available for Champions League Spurs? Just said it. He looks like he possibly will be back. We've got no real news on it. Who do you think is the worst signing ever? That was one of the questions I'm going to finish on. I'm going to finish on the worst signings ever. I wrote down about 10 players. Over my lifetime. Some of them, it depends on your age, you'll never know about. But there was one, and then I looked him up and I couldn't remember his first name. Don't know why. Vuoso, and I couldn't remember his first name, and I looked him up and thinking, what was his first name again? And I checked it out, and it was, he never kicked a ball whatsoever for Manchester City, but still cost us £3.5 million in 2001, 2002. I might be wrong with that. But he was signed by Kevin Keegan, and I remember him joining. I think did he come? He came from Independiente. Might be wrong. People correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure he came from somewhere like that. And he'd been playing with the likes of Forlan and others. But he went on, I can't remember, he went on to somewhere, South America, was it Mexico or somewhere, I can't remember. But £3.5 million, and it was like, oh my God, you know, for a player at that time, we're talking back in 2001, 2002, £3.5 million, and I don't think he ever played a single game. So that would be mine. I know some might have some earlier or later memories of players that have been garbage, but if I'm honest with you, we have we bought some absolute garbage over the times, going back years and years and years ago. You only have to look at some of the players, with the likes of Karadi, Glauber is another that springs to mind. I can't even remember how much we actually paid for him. It was just terrible. I mean, Jack Rodwell, I mean, that was such a poor signing through injuries. Who else? Lee Bradbury was another. I hate Joey Barton. Well, he wasn't a failure. Lauren Charvet was another who comes to mind. I mean, there was so many, and they were all seemed to be around that particular era between sort of like 99 and 2003, 4, maybe. We bought some absolute garbage and wasted so much money on these so-called brilliant players. But anyway, Bertie Biggins, yeah, I mean, it was just, well, you think back then, no wonder we nearly folded. We nearly did what Bolton did. It was only Sean Wright Phillips sailed to Chelsea that saved us. So Sean Wright Phillips will always have a special place in my heart, not only as a player, but because that money, Adam, mate, that money saved us, saved Man City at the end of the day. I think it was 2005. Because we had nothing. We were going into administration. So anyway, guys, I hope I've answered all your questions. It's been a massive one today. Like I said, we've gone through all of these. Samaras, yeah, I mean, yeah, Samaras, yeah, wasn't the greatest player ever. I think they watched him on a YouTube video score a goal once and then thought, wow. Shawnee Wright is my favourite. I mean, absolute legend at Man City. Good goal scorer, yeah. Anyway, We've covered so much today. Joe was bad. Yeah, Joe again. I think one of my lads, my youngest one, it was his first game when we saw City. I can't remember. It might not have been his first game, but the younger one. I think we beat Portsmouth 6-0. Joe scored. So he thought Joe was great. Anyway, Joe wasn't that bad. He was racing. He wasn't great. But anyway, we've covered so much. Yesterday, people were asking, can we concentrate more on City and not cricket and not other stuff? And we did. We just covered so many things in this live vlog. I mean, Foden, the comments of Breda Hangeland, Joao Felix, Santa Cruz, another one, Chris Baker, Ronaldo Kamara, Thomas Partey, ticket prices, Milan Skriniar, delete, internationals, Zaba, injury news. I mean, all your questions have been answered as well. So it's just been mental. That's been a very long one, 1 hour and 15 minutes. But Sampaliba, when Yaya was here, people were saying, how do we replace him? They're saying the same with Finidi. It was all about adaptation. They're great. Anyway, guys, Sandy from Man City Fan TV, as always. Sylvain Distin was a legend. He was superb centre-back. Especially alongside sort of the likes of our big Irish Dunny. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, click subscribe, click notification. That way you'll get a ping that we're live or we're doing other videos. We are going to be doing more videos tomorrow, Sunday. Ray will do something. I don't think I'll be able to do anything Sunday because I'm flying. But cheers out. But I'll be back next week, Monday onwards. And Ray will be doing plenty of videos. And I'm trying to rope in Harry to do some videos as well. You're welcome, mate. Absolutely welcome. I'll try and get Harry to do some videos as well. So it's something a bit different rather than just me and Ray all the time. See you, mate. See you, Reese. Thank you for your support, mate. You've been a good friend and a good buddy. And we appreciate it, certainly for the channel. Enjoy your holiday. Thanks, Chris. I enjoyed it. Thanks, Cassim. And yeah, so something a bit different. I'm trying to get Tobias to do a little bit of a roundup on German football. Latest Blue, latest Mark, thank you very much. I'll try and get Tobias to do something on what's happening in German football, some of the hot prospects with Jovic and the others that are around. And he'll probably send me that over the weekend or on Monday, and I'll put that out on the channel. And it gives you something, everything else, because keep kicking ass on Twitter. Reese is a real proper ass kicker. I mean, don't mess with Reese on Twitter. He says his opinions as it is, and against some pretty top dog Twitter accounts. So he's supported our channel through thick and thin when we've been up against it. He's always been there, and he's always supported us for what's right rather than who is right. Or, you know, sometimes that's the key thing. It's not always about who is right. It's about what is right. And yeah, he's been a good friend to us at Man City Fan TV. I've been on a couple of videos a long time ago. Those big accounts need the balls kicking. They do. Yeah, don't be afraid of them. If you disagree with them, tell them. What can they do? Block you? Don't matter, because I block plenty of them anyway. So, guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Have a wonderful Friday night. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't know what time, but what we'll do is a few hours before we're going to do a video, a live vlog or whatever. We'll do a live vlog just like I did today, saying, look, we're going to be on at this time if you want to check in, etc. So anyway, guys, take care. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure as always, and especially to Spurs Twitter guys. Bye, always. Take care. Can't even talk now.